those sorts of names are like lame nowadays. But I love those like, you know, you're in a band and you pick a whole new name that's got like fucking.
Yeah, I mean, imagine
Atom Bomb, fucking, you know.
Imagine it's 2001.
Davey
and they're like, hey man, you gotta have a cool stage name, and you're like, yeah, I'm thinking the name Shifty Shell Shock.
That's really, honestly though, like,
and nobody tells
a
you that it's a
choice.
bad name.
No, because like my stage persona is like a shell-shocked veteran with PTSD.
Yeah.
Every time we go out on stage for sound check, it's dun, dun, oh, what the fuck was that? You know, but no, dude. I mean, yeah, rest in peace, dude.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Shifty Shell Shock. But I do like, you know, there was fucking Polystyrene. Yep. There was all, you know, tons of these dudes got names.
Everybody's got a cool stage name. Rob Zombie, for instance.
Yeah, Robert Zombert. That's his real short for his real name. Yeah. Robert Zombert is literally his real name.
Yeah. And I will, dude. I'm always keeping on going. That's his brother, Spider One. You know. Yeah, that's a cool one. Marilyn Manson, dude. Marilyn Mandad.
He really did do like great stage name, especially for his persona and stuff. You know, all that.
And all his members too, like Madonna, Wayne Gacy, and fucking Ginger
Pogo,
Fish, and there's a lot of cool shit going on there.
Twiggy Ramirez, yeah. I obviously don't condone any of the rapings that he did. Did he do those? I quit following.
Pretty
sure, yeah.
I quit following. I know his girlfriend made a big long
It seems pretty
diatribe
likely.
about how like he didn't do it and she like supported him and shit, but like
yeah, you're always gonna have like one ride or die.
Well, I also the last I had kept up with it was he said some shit along the lines.
He
of
admitted it in a book, and he tried to say that him and Trent
Reznor,
Reznor
Reznor cut him off.
You
and was
all
like,
right?
no, yeah, dude, wow.
Because you fucking crack
dude,
that
fucking
shit.
Crack
dude.
it for real, dude.
Well, no.
Anyways, Trent like did
he
cut
tried
him
to
off.
distance himself
was like,
from
whoa,
that.
That didn't happen. Like you were fucking crazy.
Yeah, which really seems like if Manson is as bad as like a lot of the stories that aren't even just like the stories.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility.
No, and it doesn't.
That he would be like, you know what, dude, this dude pissed me off. I'm gonna drag him into this.
Yeah.
But
no, I quit following it because I hadn't read anything else about it. And then the last I had heard was after the Johnny Depp ordeal. He had said something along the lines of like, well, you know, he was going to go to court and fight it because, you know, and that was going to become like the new norm, which was going to like silence a lot of women because like these guys were going to go to court and fight it and then make them look, not saying that Amber Heard didn't suck. I'm just saying that like, his whole thing was like, well, we'll go to court.
Yeah,
and
but it
we'll,
really looks like
know.
Johnny Depp might have also sucked.
Oh, yeah. I think they both sucked.
But I lost a lot of, you know, Manson I immediately knew was guilty and not worthy of respect when I saw him pop up at that weird thing with Kanye and Justin Bieber.
Yeah, praying and shit.
Yeah,
and
it's like, okay, dude. All right.
Up, dude.
That's what you call a foxhole prayer when people like convert real quick, try to get out of trouble. Like, oh, well, even if I did, I'm a changed man. Yeah. It wasn't me. That was the old me.
Yeah, that was Marilyn Manson. You know, this
is
Brian
Paul.
Warner.
Yeah. Or Brian Warner. I'm Paul from the Wonder Years. Yeah. Remember that rumor?
Yeah, it was back when he was sucking his dick. Too.
That was one of the viral rumors, but before the dick sucking removal. Which it's like, I guess you couldn't fact check it at all back then.
No, dude. It wasn't
just
like
the surgery in general. Like, it took me years because as soon as I heard that rumor, I'm immediately like, well, I got to find a rib removal surgeon and stat. You know what I mean?
I think if he did it, obviously, fuck him, dude. Like, that's...
What? If he removed his rib?
No, if he was raping.
Oh, he probably did, yeah.
I'm sure he probably did, yeah.
Yeah, it seems pretty
But that did suck, because I was like, man, that dude really... we talked about this before when it first come out, you know, like, that was a dude that I think inspired a generation to... Tell your parents to shut up and we're not going to, you know.
In retrospect, I really don't think. I mean, he inspired, like, mall goths and shit like that.
Oh, no. I'm just talking, like, the music and, like, the standpoint of, like, you know.
There was
that
other
next
shit.
Rock star that, you know.
I mean, like I said, I respect his act.
Yeah.
I was never a Manson guy back in the day, but I was, like, you know,
I think I liked his music more than I liked him or the stage show.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I liked 9 Inch Nails.
9 Inch Nails, though, that's like not even a. I've always kind of considered, like, I'm not saying that Manson wasn't good. I just, when I think of like that kind of shit, I never clump 9 Inch. I think 9 Inch Nails is like above all that shit. I think that's. Sure.
Well, I mean, I think like
Trent's a genius. Like that.
Whatever you think about his personality aside, yeah, he's like a legitimate musical composer. You know what I mean? He's done like film scores and all kinds of shit. He scored Ken Burns' Vietnam documentary.
He did the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo as well.
Yeah, he's done all kinds of shit. But that Vietnam documentary, interestingly enough, rewatched it recently on YouTube, and a lot of the voiceover acting are like contemporary like actors, including the cast of It's Always Sunny.
No shit.
Yeah,
I didn't know
they
that.
all do, like, because there's like a lot of like old letters and shit. Oh, not the. Am I thinking of the Civil? No, I'm thinking. Did I say Civil War or Vietnam?
You said Vietnam.
Yeah, Vietnam's the one I'm talking about. Yeah. But yeah, there was like a lot of letters home and shit like that they would read, and like correspondences and shit. But good documentary. Kim Burns knows how to make a film.
Mm-hmm. That they do.
What about Ben Kearns?
I don't know who that is.
Well, it gets you take that first letter of each.
Oh,
Ben
I guess
Kearns,
I'm just stupid.
Ken Burns. Yeah, you've
We'll go ahead and just turn the fucking show off, then, dude. Let's cancel the whole fucking thing.
Let's take a fucking a turn here. Talk about something else.
Let's pause for a minute.
Nothing more boring you can start a podcast out than talking about a PBS documentary directed by Ken Burns.
Yeah. Way to segue out of Marilyn Manson with something stupid.
Yeah, dude. No, let's get out of the rape talk.
Yeah.
Let's get out of the rape talk. Well, the key is if you get stuck, I accidentally talked about a crazy topic like rape or slavery, I want to get out of it real quick. You go to something really boring like fucking a PBS documentary or like aeronautical engineering. You know what I mean?
You put me to sleep.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I can tell you. And that's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
And now we forgot all about what's his name, dude.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
But yeah, man, I do miss the when that aesthetic got you something. You know what I mean?
PBS?
No, like the 2000 mall goth.
Yeah. It was a cool time to be alive, I guess.
You could finger bang so many chicks, dude. If you just had a steel ball necklace, some fishnets, paint your fucking nails. Get the fuck away from me.
Put a little guy liner on.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god.
And I'm talking about sweating over here.
Stankin' ass.
Hell yeah, dude. Like, never even heard of fucking a stick of deodorant, dude. There was always like sub-genres too. Like, there was like the goths that listened to, certain music, and then there was like
chamber.
Then there was the goths that wore like the parachute pants, and they liked fucking Korn.
Yeah. Then you have the classics. Like people who were like classically goth in the early 2000s wore dress clothes a lot. Like black slacks, black button-up shirt with a black sweater over it.
Yeah. Polos, shit like that. Yeah.
It was very mod-ish.
Yeah.
But, that's the fucking like first time I heard somebody talk about like fucking Joy Division was at one of fucking B-Craft's little shindigs,
and it was a dude like sense. Yeah,
dressed up, but in all black. Yeah, dude, I miss there's no, I don't know, you can do any kind of style now, and nothing really turns heads anymore, which is also like kind of cool. Like you go in.
Well, everybody's pretentious and wears button downs now, so like.
I mean, but like in general. You used to never be able to go into like a public establishment and they wouldn't hire people with tattoos or piercings or dyed hair or anything.
Normal. Yeah.
Now you see that. And in general, just like you see every fucking look like a million times a day.
Yeah.
And they'll be all fucking like hanging out together. There is no like, it's not that it's not like unique anymore, but I just don't think like there's much you can do style-wise that turns people's heads unless you're wearing like a White Lives Matter shirt or nothing at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Kanye for a sec?
Do you ever look at your tattoos and think, damn, like these are really gonna be on me till I die?
Yeah, sometimes, dude. I really don't. Like, I'm not that fucked up over it.
No, I'm not either, but sometimes I like zone out and I'll be like, damn, dude, what
I do sometimes completely forget and I'll be like, damn. dude, what the,
You get them sticker tattoos.
Yeah, you
look like
down.
a sticker book.
Yeah, what's going on, dude? Where'd these come from? You know how you wake up in the morning and you forget, like, that you're human and shit, and you're just, like, trying to remember what you're even doing.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, what year is it?
Yeah, like, what is,
What is this, man?
And then I'll be like, all right, don't remember this. Let's get our fucking bearings,
the first thing I remember is this place sucks, man.
Yeah, that's true, dude.
Like I'll work that in.
You always work it in there just
I'll
a little
just put
bit.
it right in.
You know, man, when I was a boy growing up down there in Macon, Georgia, I used to go down there to this little corner store, and you used to be able to go on in there, and you could get a little glass bottle of iced tea or a little glass bottle of Coca-Cola. $1. Cost you $1. And then, if for the same price, you go on down there, down by where they used to have the county fair, and back then it was just a carnival. We didn't call it no fair. It was just the carnival done come to town. There was a little ignorant boy, malformed in the brain, and you could come up. You could. They had him in a cage, and they'd let you walk in that tent. You could rattle his cage a little bit, and then for an extra nickel, they'd give you a little stick. You was allowed to poke that little boy with a stick, and he'd go crazy. That little boy, malignant in the head, he was a little redundant. How they say?
Oh, I know.
His brain was, we'll just say it had 3 cylinders firing out of 6. Okay. And you could go in there, you could poke at him with a stick, but that was about the extent of it. But I heard, we would all hear rumors every year, if you go down there to the carnival after hours, they let that boy out of the cage. And, I mean, he's liable to do anything. All right, but they said you had to pay, and this was big money at the time, $2 to get into the carnival grounds. Or they call it the fairgrounds now, same place. But it used to just be carnival grounds out there in Macon. And one night we said, well, we ain't going to pay the $2. That's 7 weeks allowance. But we'll sneak on down there to carnival grounds. We want to see this little, we want to see this little mongrel in action, is what we'd say back then. I wouldn't say, they called them mongoloids back then. Some folks called them mongrels. Either way, he was a person. We looked at him like a person, but like anybody, if you or me started pooping in the streets, people pay a couple dollars to see it, I'd imagine. So we snuck down there, and this boy, when I walk up there and I seen him playing goddamn euchre with the rest of the folks at the goddamn, turned out, boy didn't have an ounce of retardism in his goddamn body. They faked the whole goddamn affair. And this was just a normal boy they had in there that you could poke with a stick, which isn't even, what is that? You can do that anywhere. You remember?
I remember that nylon jacket you had.
Oh! Yeah, well, sometimes when I get overindulged in my eroticism,
I remember you had that nylon jacket.
I got a little nylon coat, and I like to come on it when I like to ejaculate my loads.
Do you ever miss Podbean?
I do, man.
I miss those days.
I miss all those characters,
fun,
man.
It was fun, dude.
I still, I'm connected with a very select few I met from back then.
There's still a few that follow me on Twitter and stuff. X, my bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not like
there was
it used
some
to
good
be,
days.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun, man. There's a few that I would like to get back in touch with. Lawless, she sent me that care package.
Oh yeah,
Scotland. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
There's
vacuum your couch.
Vacuum your man, dude. Vacuum your couch, dude.
Shout out.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of cool fucking people back then, dude.
Yeah.
The Will deal.
Yeah.
Remember Will?
Yeah.
Bands.
Yeah.
I'm still friends with Bands on Facebook.
Rest in peace to the pod god, of course. I'll never not say that. He was awesome. Yeah, like at times. Taz, Ace.
Yeah, Taz texted me the other day, dude.
I ain't talked to Taz in a minute.
She texted me the other day. And she just said, like, oh, you should totally do live streams again. That's all she...
It's always tempting, but no.
I think we'll do a couple of these live.
Yeah, there's a point in time where, some days I, wake up and I think, man, it would be cool if I went live on something because I know it would garner, a lot of attention.
Yeah,
if I went live on one of those shows. But,
if I had more time, I would go live once every couple weeks.
Too much to try to fucking keep up with.
Yeah. I mean, if you really... It's the thing is, if it was something you could do every couple weeks and still have an audience, I'd do it. But if you don't do it, pretty much every fucking day, All the people that have like gotten big through stream 7 days a week. You know what I mean? It's just not worth it.
Too hard, man.
But I do miss some folks. I miss riffing live with people, dude. You know. But I do figure eventually, once we get a few of these rolling, I get my setup improved. I'll have this monitor where we can turn it around, see a chat. We'll do some like live episodes.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I always hated like just. There'd always be like these random motherfuckers that would call in and like sometimes
the N-word.
Sometimes it was fun. Like sometimes it would be fun banter, but then like there would be people that would get on there and just say dumb shit.
Well, you remember Bubbles? What was Bubbles' real name?
Oh damn, Jack. I think yeah. I texted him all the time
from Wisconsin,
somewhere up north. Yeah. He got a girlfriend, dude, and stopped fucking with everybody.
Well, he got a girlfriend and got a fucking life, dude. He got off the fucking Podbean, and I mean, a lot of those dudes did. There was one. You remember?
Well,
Rick?
That's COVID too, man. Like,
remember Rick from New York?
Yeah, Rick was cool.
Apparently, I don't even remember this, but I guess he had some sort of like a freak out where he went like fucking weird and like right wing, I guess, and went off on everybody. But he recently, I commented in the Discord. He's like, "Hey, sorry, was going through a lot. I'm chill again." You know? I was like, I don't even remember that.
We had a lot of cool buddies, man. Like we made friends with a lot of fucking, lot of good dudes.
Shout out to all those people. Eric.
Nah.
Yeah. Eric from Macon, Georgia.
What was that fucking stupid show he was on all the fucking time?
What was that called? It was like called Patriot Talk Radio or something like that.
Yeah, and it'd be just all these fucking silly...
He said, oh, there's the Wampus. Wampus, won't you call in?
That's Curio's little friend, Wampus.
Curio's little buddy Wampus. Why don't you call in? Call in. We're on here on the nonsense password lounge.
He's on there on Slightly all the time.
The
Welcome back to Slightly Show. I'm the co-host, Eric.
That's who it was. What was it? Slightly Serious?
Yeah.
He became a freak. We used to be cool. He became... There was a few of them that became freaks. I mean, we were streaming during peak COVID.
Stuart was cool.
And everybody was going nuts. People were either becoming cool or becoming insane.
Wasn't that his name, Stuart?
Stuart.
Then we have a buddy named Stuart.
I don't remember a Stuart. Don't remember a Stuart per se.
What was the one dude? We were friends with him from New York, man.
Rick.
Not Rick. He was from upstate.
Stuart.
He called in all the time, man. He liked wrestling like me and shit. I feel bad I can't remember his name now. Now I feel like a piece of shit.
You talking about Hayes?
No.
You talking about the young cat?
No.
We talked to
his
on
name
the
was
train?
Adam. Was it Adam?
There was Adam.
He was gonna come.
You're talking about Boss Hog.
Boss Hog, dude.
Yeah,
God
dude.
damn,
He's
I'm
gonna
fucking
be sad
fried.
you didn't remember his name, dude.
Yeah. No, I was trying to remember his real name.
Yeah, it's Adam. Yeah.
Adam. Yeah. Why'd I call him Stuart?
Yo, it's Boss Hog.
Yeah, Boss Hog.
Wampus, Curio. Glad to talk to you.
Let me take a minute and tell you, Boss Hog was the fucking real one.
Yeah, he's one of the realest.
I would love to have a conversation with him again. I really like that guy. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name, man.
Yeah, well, if you just said Boss Hog, I would have fucking thought of it.
Yeah,
but
I was trying to think of his actual real name and not be an asshole and just call him by his fucking username because we were like pretty tight with him. But yeah, Adam, man, Adam was fucking cool.
Nonsense, just liked one of my posts on Instagram.
Yeah, he still likes my shit on Twitter, man. Nonsense was fun, dude. I liked him a lot.
Well,
welcome back to the Nonsense Password Lounge, where the password is always nonsense.
Boku Yama Hog.
Yeah, fuck that guy fucking ruled. Him and his wife both great fucking people.
Oh yeah, Nonsense in some sense, dude.
They were cool, man. I had a really good time with a lot of people.
He was still streaming until like not very long ago. I'd pop in occasionally.
Yeah.
The only person from back then that still like streams and still has like some of that audience.
And Milk Dog, don't forget Milk Dog.
Is well, he's still on Podbean. Actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm
but
saying.
I was gonna say Kai. Kai's he doesn't go on Podbean anymore. But
a
few of the people, Cat. You remember Cat?
Yep.
Catacilio.
Catacilio, yeah.
Yeah. He's still on. I'll see him and
Jackie.
Oh yeah, Jackie.
Well, a lot of friends on there,
I wonder what she's
man.
doing, dude.
Yeah, I do miss it from time to time. You know, for a long time after like all that, sometimes at work, I would like download Podbean and I would get in there and I'd like jump in a random show and they would see me join and then like whoever was hosting the show would be like,
"Oh yeah,
no way, that's not," and I'd be like, "No, that really is me," and I would like pop in and I'd drop a couple beans and leave, you know. And it was cool to get a nice little react. I think we really made a little bit of an impact on there. We were kind of a fucking big deal for.
Well, we had the #1 show.
Not to suck our own dicks, but we had the #1 show on.
And I know a lot of y'all. Okay, we're talking like reminiscing talk. For those of you that only know us from this new show, This Place Sucks.
Yeah.
Used to have a podcast called The Obscure Curio. Used to do a live version of it on the Podbean app. Mm-hmm. Podbean's a huge podcasting host. The app is like a pretty widely popular app, and like a lot of people don't use it, but hardly anyone's heard of it. But there's a shitload of people on there.
Yeah.
And for a while, we had the #1 live program on there. You could live stream audio on there. And that was my favorite streaming, the audio only. I didn't care for Twitch that much. I didn't care for the video
I didn't
like
Twitch at all. That's why I never come on there.
I mean, I'll say that I think having the video element helped me get certain elements of my like audience, but that wouldn't have like stayed if it was audio only probably. But I preferred like just turning the fucking shit on. Having just the comments right there, mic in front of your face. It was like a radio show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
People call in and shit. Like, it was fun. Like, it was a good time. I had a little side quest I did on there for a little bit. I did a little show. We watched movies and shit on there.
Horror business.
And that was cool.
Had another one, fucking Top Turnbuckle, dude.
Yeah, with Hayes. We did wrestling shit on there. That was cool.
I mean, we did some, like, fundraising
cool
shit on there.
Yeah,
Made a bunch of fucking... Raised a bunch of money.
We fought off a lot of racists, a lot of bigots.
And we were doing all that. We were streaming in, like, middle of 2020, all through fucking COVID. And this was, like, I mean, that time on the internet, especially, like, highly online people, which I would say are, like, a lot of Podbean users. Yeah. People were radicalizing, dude. Which, you know, some people were coming into our show and seeing the radical point of view that you should just be, like, a normal... regular nice person.
Yeah.
But a lot of like people on there were going absolutely nuts.
Well, I'd get on other shows and I'd call in and they'd be like, yeah, man, your all show's great. That man, Jordan, he just really gets fucking going. I'm like, buddy, you're talking to the wrong dude. Because like I literally like 95% of everything he believes, like I'm the same way. Like there's not very much, especially politically, that we don't agree on.
It was like those same motherfuckers, like, I don't know if today, but prior to like everybody going nuts, they really believe the same shit. You could have a conversation.
Oh yeah, for the most part, yeah, we had a pretty.
You don't really want poor people to suffer. Like you see that rich people are doing a little too much.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "Oh,
if you really water it down to them, like they would get it. It's fine. I think people just get like within the day-to-day lives, the way people are brought up. Like there's a lot of sorts of like other factors that like. Tie into them going on these tangents when they get on those shows about like, well, you know, because who was that one guy we liked? Because he liked New Order and shit, and then he turned out to kind of fucking suck. He was racist.
Wasn't it fucking? I think that was Rick.
No, it wasn't Rick. It was he was from.
Because he started going sideways.
He was from Mexico or like Venezuela.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, something like that. But didn't he have like 88 in his name? But it was because he was born in 88.
No, that was also a different guy. This guy was like he had a real soft spoken voice. He talked about like he missed his wife and shit because she was back home in their country and like he liked New Order and like a lot of that shit.
Yeah, I do remember vaguely.
Like, he was racist against a certain group.
You get that, you know. And
really
like,
fucked up the vibe because I like
the internet hasn't helped because people can get like the crazy shit real easily, so people aren't as normal and like quick to believe you about shit. Yeah. But I'll say this.
Do you remember Dara?
Oh yeah, dude, from India. He was cool.
He was fucking badass, dude. I hope he's all right.
But I'll say this: you can go up to anybody at work, and if you start the conversation off like, "Dude, you work hard as hell. How much do you make?" That's not nearly enough, dude. Let me calculate. You probably make this place 10 times that in a fucking hour. And you only make this much in a day. You deserve a little bit more, dude. I mean, just think about how much you make the company. If you start there, by the end, if you don't use any of the buzzwords they know about, you'll have them on board with communism.
Yeah.
Or at least on board with unionization.
You've got you a socialist anarchist right there, man.
I think you can, like unions and communism are obviously two totally different things.
Yeah.
But the idea that workers should at least have a larger say in the means of production. Most people will be like, yeah, I do more work. This crazy right-wing guy at work talks about it all the time. He's always doing numbers in his head. He's not crazy right-wing. He's like a good buddy of mine. But he like watches crazy right-wing shit and like QAnon type of stuff. But he's always coming up to me. He's like, you know how many of these X parts I did today? He's like, this many, which is $9,000 when they sell them. You know how much I fucking made today? Fucking 180 or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? And so in his head, he's already on board with the fact that, oh, I'm creating this much value for the company. That's the surplus value of my wage. I should be entitled to more than that. So he's on board. But if I was to say anything like communism or surplus value of labor to him, he'd be like, oh, fuck no, dude. The boss should be allowed to have sex with my wife. You know what I mean?
Now, why I got you here, man? What'd you think about them debates last night?
Let's get into it, dude. This begins the official 2024. What's our timing here? Because this camera's probably going to fucking beep in about 4 minutes, so keep an eye on that.
Yeah, what are we at?
We're at 26 minutes. Oh, well, so the camera will flash off. Keep an eye on it. Official 2024 election coverage begins now. Now, let's preface by saying all these episodes we've recorded have been, like, out of order. This one is going to get pushed a little bit to the front, so it's not that irrelevant.
Yeah.
But we're recording it the night after the first debate. We'll see when it gets out.
Yeah.
Earliest debate they've ever held. They usually don't start holding them till the fall.
Yeah.
Should have been a big deal. A lot of people have a lot of opinions. We're going to get into it podcast style. Couple white dudes.
Couple whitey
dudes with some things to say.
Woo!
Woo! You know what I mean?
And first of all, let me say that both teams played great. It was a good game. And
they really both put in an A-plus effort.
And I think that it really goes to show that this really is the two best candidates that we have to offer.
Yeah, and
I don't think we could have picked anybody better than these two guys.
Out of two incredible political athletes.
We have an old, Joe Biden's, 82, dementia, had a cold.
Yeah.
Trump, 76.
Just off
got a better golf game.
A round of Ozempic, clearly.
Yeah, it got a better golf game than Joe. We established that.
Let's get real thoughts out the fucking way, just real quick. All fucking, like, Trump clearly dodged every single fucking question. He obviously said a bunch of shit that was lies. He performed as poorly as he could possibly perform, considering his past debate performances, which I am of the camp that his debate performances, along with his rallies, but his fucking sharpness in those debates and being an asshole is what won his fucking election.
It reminded me of when you have a movie that's really good and you make a sequel, but the sequel sucks, but you still got the same cast to come back and it still sucked. That's what it reminded me of. You look at the first time Trump ran, you look at when he beat Hillary.
Yeah, that he was at the top of his game. Yeah,
he was top of his game. And then when he debated Biden when he ran against him 4 years ago, I also
think Biden won then.
Yeah, he started to decline. And now this time I was like, the only difference between Trump and Biden at this point is the speech impediment.
Dude, he didn't even call him Sleepy Joe.
No, he didn't do any of his...
The only quip he put in was I'm not sure what he said there at the end. He probably doesn't even know what he said.
That was cool.
Which was funny.
Fuck with that.
I was listening to it at work. I wasn't fucking watching
that
it.
That was the highlight of the whole fucking debate.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And I thought, dude, it was like watching an old boxer... And you think he's got him on the ropes and he's going to go for it's like watching Chuck Liddell fight and then Chuck gets knocked out. That's how it felt with Trump. I thought he got a shot in, he's and then really going to and then he didn't let the guns go, man.
I want to say definitively, because nobody seems to agree with this. I think definitively Biden won the debate. He spoke policy, not a shitload of it, but he spoke specific fucking policy. And I'm not saying I agreed with those policies.
People don't
but he
want
debated.
To people don't want to take the time and have the patience to get past the mumblings to get what he's actually saying.
Yeah, I saw all these clips that were taken out of context. The only reason I watched is because I knew I was going to see a shit of that.
Yeah,
I knew I was going to see a shitload.
And I want to know
for
myself
that
they're not taking shit out of context. So I sat through that painfully awful fucking debate.
Sure enough,
just to make sure that I didn't get any kind of fucking bullshit.
Every single thing is edited. Mr. President, what do you think of this? And then they'll edit it to the part where he fucking stumbled, and they'll edit around it so it looks like he doesn't answer the question. But he answered every single question. He definitely trailed off a dozen times. He definitely fucking mumbled. He definitely has a speech impediment. Yeah. But he answered those questions. Yeah. Neither one of them are fit for the goddamn office. Debates are fucking stupid, don't matter anyway. But if we're going to talk winners, he won that motherfucker. Yeah, that's why Trump slunked off and immediately walked backstage, and he walked out to the crowd with his fucking wife. Because that's what winners do. Yeah. But he sucks.
Now, I could be wrong on this. I'm just going to throw a little something in there. I think strategically, this is going to be a very close one, just like it was last time.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying Trump has lost the election.
There's certain things I noticed that Trump tried to slide in there.
The conspiracy, the military-aged males coming over the border raping everybody. Yes, that's his main platform.
And then him saying that Joe only has created jobs for illegal immigrants.
Yeah, which is part of that. Yeah, the borders become his
I noticed that he threw the they got on the subject of abortion, and Trump threw in there that he supported the abortion pill. Yeah. And then Joe immediately shut him down and was like, "What you've done is a travesty." First of all,
and he had the better roast. Yeah, he would start every rebuttal with like, "What the fuck is this?
Yeah,
dude
like
talking
you're
about?
awful.
You're a jackass."
But I noticed though, and like I said, I could be wrong.
Here, Jack. What you've done to this country is irreparable.
Malarkey.
Okay, he says he saved us. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, I've built 15 million jobs. Okay, I mean, for real.
I think Trump slid that in there to sway votes.
Oh yeah, I mean he put a couple things in.
Like
he's
pitching
this.
He specifically like that bit about the abortion pill though. I seen as the PR team saying, well, if you throw that in there,
yeah, and the people that are on the fence are choosing. Some states it's very liberal, maybe more liberal than I would like.
I put 3 great,
but they're not
Supreme Court justices in there.
There's more states banning abortion than ever before. They're doing it without their constituents' votes. Yeah, like they're not going in and saying to their citizens, "Hey, you get to decide." These like extremist legislators are going in and changing these fucking laws. So I think it's a bad point. I think his best point is that he said he was no longer, he wanted to sign into law that service workers wouldn't get taxed on their tips anymore. Yeah. That you could be, but up to a certain amount. Yeah. Which I think will get him a lot of votes, but I don't think he'll do. But like Biden did a good job of saying, like, dude, your tax cuts only help the fucking wealthy, which they did. Everybody says, oh, dude, you were in a better place 4 years ago. I've sat and thought about it, and even though inflation's higher, and shit costs more now. I couldn't afford to buy a fucking house and a new vehicle 4 years ago. Didn't have so much money on my fucking savings. Like, I'm definitely spending more, but somehow I still have more money. I don't know if it's like that for fucking everybody. Right. But those tax cuts didn't help anybody but the wealthy. And he made good fucking points by saying that. He's obviously got the better PR team right now. Yeah. Trump's got a bunch of fucking... First of all, the people he has to have working for him now are like 10 times more insane than the people who worked for him before. Gotta be. Because all of his cabinet members have abandoned him. His vice presidents abandoned him. He fired everybody else. You know what I mean? Like he tried to brag about during the debate. So imagine the insane people that are like, go out there and talk about how everybody coming over the border is raping and murdering and stealing jobs. Yeah. Because that's, his base wants that. His base wants the conspiracies and the lies and shit like that. But I'll tell you, dude, I don't know. You can't always trust polling. Look at 2016. They had Hillary ahead by fucking 10 miles, and he fucking won in a landslide. I think what's going to happen is I think Trump may win the popular vote, but I think Biden's going to win the Electoral College. And that's my official prediction.
And I can't wait to fucking celebrate, dude.
I don't know how long the video's been. We have not been paying attention. Probably 4 minutes.
But I enjoyed when Joe said that we shouldn't have politicians telling women what to do with their bodies, and it was that moment of I said, well, he still got it.
They both had a terrible position on Israel and Ukraine, though.
Yeah, because that's
that's kind of what matters right now.
And so I knew that was going to happen. Like I knew that Joe was not going to say anything I wanted to hear about that conflict, and I knew Trump was going to say what. I wish it
was anybody else, because this is the year that everybody realizes, right? Like politics is a sham. We shouldn't vote for anybody. We shouldn't participate in their system. But we know if we don't, Trump's going to get elected. Yeah. And we know they've got this Republican Agenda 2025 where they want to pack the courts and expand the courts and do away with judiciary power and consolidate power into the executive branch, do away with term limits, keep Trump in until death, and then go try to get somebody else in after that. I mean, that's the plan. They have it in writing, available on their goddamn website.
Yeah.
So obviously, I wish I could vote fucking Marianne Williamson or one of these people and just say, fuck it, I don't want to participate in their fucking system, or write in fucking my balls.
Yeah.
But it's a fucking risk. It's when you write in fucking when you check Joe Biden's name, you're doing it with fucking blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, when I check the Democratic Party box and just be done with it, I'm signing with blood too.
It's a lesser of two evils, but it's not.
Yeah. I've always done. I mean, that's literally.
Fundamentally, we're fucked.
Up until when I stopped supporting Rand Paul. Up until I stopped supporting that dude, he was the only Republican that I liked.
Can I tell you something I noticed in Breaking Bad the other day?
What happened in Breaking Bad that's been done and over with for 10
goddamn
years now?
Rewatching an old scene where Hank has Walt's notebook and he sees the WW in there, and he's like trying to obviously say it's Walter White, but it's Walt Whitman.
Yeah.
You know that one?
Yeah.
When he's flipping through his book, he's got a Ron Paul for president sticker.
Yeah. Yeah.
So think about that, dude.
Yeah.
Think about the character. Yeah. That adds a lot to the character.
Yeah.
Because you got to assume, was he libertarian before he became a meth dealer?
Yeah.
Or afterwards? Because obviously libertarianism bodes really well for drug dealers.
Right.
You know what I mean? The lack of law and oversight.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Drug kingpins.
I liked Ron too, man,
CEOs.
For a long time. I liked Ron and Rand for a minute.
I get the old school libertarian philosophy of like the young Rand Paul, of just like more classical libertarianism that's more centered, not necessarily left wing, but more centered. But he went fully like right wing in the past years. Yeah. Rand Paul fully sucked. I never was on board with Rand Paul. I just knew. I was like, if he's cool, he wouldn't be running as a Republican in Kentucky. You know what I mean?
And that should have been my first sign too.
But
it wasn't, man. I was young, dude, and I stood by Ron and Rand. I was all in, and then now I'm clearly all not. But the last several years that I've voted, I like I said, I vote straight Democratic, man.
I voted for
vote blue no matter who.
The last time I voted in the Carrollton, I voted for a Republican county judge. This chick that came by and talked to me one day when I was living out there on M&T Road, she stopped by, said, "Are your parents home?" I said, "I'm 27." She said, "Oh, can I talk to you?" And she was like, "I'm a Republican candidate for vote." And so I immediately started grilling her.
Yeah.
I was like, "What do you think about this? What do you think about this?" And my main concern at the time, I was like, "What do you like the drug problem? Like, obviously, fucking locking people up, which is gonna be your job if you get the judge, is not working." And she's like, actually, I believe in a policy of like this, basically rehab, and if they refuse rehab, jail. She's like, but she's like, I want to make Carrollton the sort of fucking town where we don't have anybody in our jail for drug possession. And she was like legit and heartfelt, and listened to something. She was asking my opinions on stuff, because I told her my story and shit. Talked to me for like 2 hours, dude. And I was like, I don't know, but I hope you fucking get it.
Yeah.
I hope you get it. I was like, you'll be the first Republican I've ever voted for.
Yeah.
But she was like, she genuinely wanted good change.
Yeah.
And you could tell she was just like a Republican in name.
Yeah.
Like, I grilled her about some tax shit and stuff like that, and she's
like,
I
think it's important to know.
Well, she wouldn't have any control over, but
I think it's important to know all of the candidates. I've always said I think it's important to vote for what you think are your best interests. I get all that. But in recent years, like I said, the reason I vote Democrat now is I'm too afraid to vote Republican. I'm too afraid of that party and what they stand for, because
they've gone radical. Both parties have gone right.
Yeah.
Everybody tries to say it's this horseshoe thing where they're going extreme and they're gonna. No, the horseshoe thing is in my opinion, it's not fucking real, because there is a limit to how extreme left-wing political ideology can become before it's not left-wing anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? But there's not with right-wing political ideology. Because like force is a supreme ruling.
Right. Before we drift off, so who do you think DT gets as his vice if he wins?
Now here's some talk. Let's get back to the debate. Stay on the election coverage. I'm curious. Speaking of vices, I haven't seen old fucking Kamala in months. She popped up. She made that fucking didn't fall off the turnip wagon or whatever the fuck she said.
The last thing I heard her say was, "We did it, Joe." Oh yeah. This is the last time that I haven't seen her since.
Do not come. Do not come. Who? You didn't remember that video of her where she's talking about like the migrants coming to the border and she's like,
"Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. That was like, a good bit too."
Come.
Yeah,
and then somebody edits it's in with Donald.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna come.
I'm gonna come. Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, and then she like he did that State of the Union a couple months ago, and like she kept standing up for like everything Joe would say. Yeah. How's everybody doing today? And she'd stand up.
I think he ought to
woke up and had breakfast.
His best bet, honestly, let's talk this. Donald Trump is going to pick somebody batshit crazy. He's not going to risk... Last time he picked what people considered a moderate old school Republican in Mike Pence because he needed that base because moderate old school Republicans were not on board with him.
Yeah.
This time around, I don't think he thinks he needs that. So I could see him tapping one of these insane young guys like Matt Gaetz or fucking, the blockhead, the pedophile.
Yeah.
Or fucking disgraced former drag queen congressman George Santos, who I actually love, because since like getting exposed and like disgraced, he's come out as like I scammed those Republican idiots. Of course, dude, they're the easiest people to scam on earth.
Yeah.
And he's kind of playing into it. Love the guy. Hilarious.
I hope it's something crazy, and I hope he gets Alex Jones, dude.
I could see him picking Nick fucking Fuentes or fucking Kanye West.
Yeah,
or
dude, fucking Kanye. That would be fucking
David Duke,
wild, dude. Oh no, dude, that'd be fucking so bad.
I could see him saying fuck it and going full mask off at this point and saying like, yeah, I nominate fucking Adolf Hitler Jr. to be my VP. I think here's Joe's best bet. I think right now, honestly, dude, it's a 50-50 chance. I think he could still win, but if he wants to secure it, push that student loan forgiveness.
You think he dies in office?
The second term for sure, which means we definitely get Kamala. But here's my plan for him securing it. Hear me out. First thing he does, go ahead and push that student loan debt through. $10,000 for everybody. It's not what you promised. Push it through. Legalize weed and tap some young fucking Democrat to be your running mate. Somebody super fucking progressive. Yeah. At least like that libs will think is progressive. I don't care if it's Mayor Pete. Somebody libs will think is progressive. Mayor Pete is not really that progressive. But somebody young, that way everybody can comfortably say, okay, we got somebody okay in there if Joe dies. Because here's like the fact of the matter. Mayor Pete, he'll suck on Israel. He'll suck on all that shit. He probably won't be a good president fiscally. But all the people who are worried, like transgender rights, race rights. So
you don't think he picks her to come back with him?
Oh, I think he is, and I don't think it's good for him though. She's done less than.
How many times does that happen?
She's had no big initiatives as VP.
That's not a pretty common thing though, right?
Didn't Reagan do it?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
I want to say Reagan or Nixon.
Well, Reagan had Bush Sr.
He had Bush Sr. Did he have in both terms? I can't remember. I know somebody had switched. Maybe it was FDR.
Too much in this big brain, bro. I can't file through it all at the moment.
I can't remember. But yeah, I think right now Trump's best bet, if he wants to win, he can't lose his base, right? So he can't stop saying the racist dog whistle.
He's probably going to go get fucking
that.
Tucker Carlson, dude.
But he needs to reappeal to the working class. Well, those people are losing shit for him. People are waking up to the fact that Tucker Carlson's not a normal guy. He's not a working class guy. You see him on this podcast. He's a fucking rich kid chump. All politics aside, like none of these people would hang out with him in a normal fucking setting. Like it's very obvious he's not chill. Even for those dudes, who a lot of them aren't, like chill dudes themselves. Yeah. And your Ben Shapiro types, like he lost. A lot of those people have like lost a lot of their own like right-wing audience. Daily Wire's lost a lot because of Israel and how many people are anti-Semitic on the right wing.
Right.
But yeah, dude, I mean, I think he needs to reappeal to the working class. Biden, Inflation sucks, but he did create a fucking bunch of jobs. He signed that terrible union deal for the railroad, so that's also a point against him.
What do you think about Kennedy and all this? Where do you think he lands?
I think he's trash.
No, I mean, I'm not asking your...
I think it's a non-question. No third-party candidate in this system is going to do anything.
What if Trump picks Kennedy up?
I think it could be good for him. Because the only person that will possibly take Republican votes from Trump right now is Kennedy. He's the only person like running third party. Jill Stein I think is running again, and somebody else.
Jill been running since day one, dude. Jill's
they're going to take votes from Trump, from Biden for sure.
Yeah.
No Republican. It doesn't matter if fucking Ted Cruz, fucking Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah.
They're not going to take votes away, but RFK would take votes away from your Rogan Republican types.
Yeah.
A lot of them are going to be voting for RFK. But if he taps them to be VP, that problem's not there.
Yeah.
But I think RFK has said he's not a Trump guy. That's why he's running against him.
Yeah, everybody says that until they get the job offer.
Until he's like, yeah, by the way, also, in addition to being my VP, under the table, $20 million.
Yeah.
But you got to be my lapdog.
And the New World Order theme music hits and... Fucking Kennedy comes out playing air guitar, dude.
Even a lot of Repubs who were on board when it came out that his wife was tight as fuck with Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah.
He lost a lot of them. But he's also going to be taking Dem votes away because there's a lot of Dems who just don't want to vote Biden. We ran into some lunatic at the Gay Pride fucking festival down here who was talking everybody's ears off about RFK. And I was like, his like policies are not going to be like pro-gay, right?
Yeah.
Like he might be saying some shit, but like this isn't the place. He's like, yeah, but he wants to legalize weed. I was like, I'll agree, because he's an ex-heroin addict. His drug policies are all definitely a step in the right direction. He's also very Zionist and pro-Israel.
Yeah.
Though. There's no candidate running that will fix what's going on in Israel. I think Biden is his little fucking ceasefire deal for the return of hostages into the war. If that worked, it would be more than Trump would do.
Yeah. Anything he does is going to be more than what Trump would do.
Trump basically said they need to finish the job.
Yeah.
Is what he said. You know, he's like...
And that's such a wild fucking... What a time to be alive, man.
I just can't ever imagine being in the state of
time to have
mind
to deal with all this shit.
Where I don't look at people as people. You know what I mean?
Just... Like I said earlier, when we first started talking about the debate and I made the funny, like... We really got the two. That was wild.
Oh, it was your phone over
there.
But
it's on Do Not Disturb.
It's
a ghost.
Undisturbed.
Anyway. Anyways.
He's a Zionist, too.
He is, dude. Boo.
Boo. Boo this man.
It's just wild to me that we're still here. We're still doing this with Joe Biden and Donald Trump, man.
Like, it's just a replay. Deja vu.
Yeah.
I mean, if this year, it's already too late for it to be like 2020. 2020 popped off in March with COVID.
Yeah.
I think by June, the BLM demonstrations had started. Though it's not a comparable year. I think it's actually a lot more boring than a lot of people have thought. Really think about when's the last like big... You hear about a big protest or a mass shooting or like something. It's been a quiet, knock on wood. I don't want that shit to happen. But it's been a quiet year. You know, Trump made that comment in the debate. Like, terrorism, there was never not a single terrorist attack under me. The only terrorist was me killing Soleimani. He died like a dog.
Yeah,
but in reality,
a dog.
Think about, we've obviously had some shootings, but think about the frequency. Think about, really, the years 2016 through 2020, the frequency of mass shootings, the Parkland, the fucking, all of that shit. And then the frequency, like the last few years. They do seem to have gone down. I don't think it's anything to do with Biden. I think COVID is what curbed it, obviously. I think maybe a lot of the crazy kids didn't go back to school, you know.
And they might not have. I don't know.
Well, maybe that was that buffer period because a lot of kids do it in high school, junior, senior year. Like, I'm finally going to do it. Some kids got pushed out. They're like, you're not having your senior year,
You're going to be shooting a computer monitor, bro.
Yeah.
You're on a Zoom call today, dude.
That would be a dark but funny sketch. Would be like a school shooter during COVID, and he's just in a Zoom call with 20 other kids on the screen, and he's just...
Yeah, we're horrible people, dude. Hey, man, I had a dream the other night. It was wild.
I had a dream!
Whoa.
That all men...
That's not what we're doing.
Martin Luther King.
I know, dude. I know what you're doing. I fucking get it. I had a dream the other night. It kind of ties into this or whatever. But I had a dream. I was in my grandparents' house, right? And, of course, both my grandparents are no longer with us. They died. So, anyways, I've had a few dreams about my grandmother since she passed, which me and her were like very close, and those are always nice. It's never been like a bad. It's always like a.
I've had a couple.
It always kind of feels like I get a little conversation with them.
I
get an extra little. Oomph,
and you might be, dude. Maybe the dream world and the afterlife are somehow connected.
And in this situation, I hope not. But I seen Joyce and Greg in their chairs, and I was excited because like. Anytime I get to see my grandmother in a dream, it's always nice. I always wake up in a better mood, because I really, really genuinely miss my grandmother. But in this particular dream, it was Greg, my grandpa.
Fag!
Gay. It was my grandfather, right?
I'd never say anything.
It was my grandfather. You just said it.
Not in real life.
No, this is real, dude. So anyways, my grandfather came up to me and he was like, "Hey man, you lived a good life?" And I was like, "I don't like where this is going." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty fun. I mean, I've had a good time." And he's like, "Look, I just want you to know that the conflict between Israel and Palestine is going to cause World War III, and I've got a bunker on the hill that you need to take all your valuables and put it in because you're going to be facing a lot of hard times in the future." And he was like so dead
fuck to hear that.
Dude. And I woke up like in a straight, and like the dream did not just abruptly ended there. It got worse. So then I was on the porch with him, and he's not old grandpa. Like he was like young at this point in time when he's telling me these things. And like he's telling me things that like I don't like recall about the conflict between Israel and Palestine. Like I've kept up with it, but like he's telling me things that like I in my head I don't know, obviously. And he's like, "It's not going to be good. You need to take care of yourself." And then all of a sudden, I was at a schoolyard.
Oh fuck!
And everybody I grew up with and all my friends were all there, and we were all kids, and all of us were all there as adults. And we could not speak to ourselves, but we could talk to others. And everybody was like grabbing a random friend and telling them about the future, but they couldn't talk to themselves. And then I woke up.
That's a wild.
Pretty fucking sick, dude.
Let me tell you something. This I don't want to drag on. I'm going to try to keep it brief, but this might end out the episode. And it's out of character. It's not funny. If anybody believes in weird shit, I'm going to try not to cry telling you this, dude.
Yeah.
But this relates.
Yeah.
And it makes me think that this place really does suck.
Yeah, and it does, dude. And it does.
For the last probably 8 years, I've had reoccurring dreams in which I'm in an urban warfare environment where I've got a rifle. I'm with a bunch of people. In a lot of the dreams, they're like my buddies. And I'm like, oh, we're in some kind of a like weird militia game. And then in other ones, I'm like clearly in like a fucking unit.
Yeah.
Where I like know the people, but they're not you guys. You know what I mean? And I'm always in like an abandoned school, something that looks like a Call of Duty map, an abandoned airport, a fucking, country fucking like field, like hiding out in a fucking barn and shit. Like I've had literally over the last 8 years, I've probably had 100 of these bitches. And they're never like, I have never had a good dream in my life, like where it's pleasant. And they're usually like very anxious, nightmarish type of dreams where like something crazy is going on and I don't know what it is. But nothing insane. Like I'm never like getting nuked or like actually shot at, but we're doing some kind of something military.
Yeah.
So let me pause. Okay, so the only dreams I've ever had that are mildly pleasant have been the 3 or 4 times I've successfully lucid dreamed.
Yeah.
The last time I lucid dreamed, I was in prison. So this would have been 2017. And in this dream, it was like the most freeing lucid dream I ever had because I knew that I was lucid dreaming, knew that I was like in prison, and I was like, I'm going to use this dream. And I remember doing all kinds of shit, like flying, eating, like going to a place and getting ice cream and shit, like flying to it and shit. Like it was, like a dream where I was able to do like all kinds of crazy shit. And then I remember being in this like restaurant, this like ice cream restaurant that I went to. And like I was like in the bathroom in the dream, and I looked at my reflection in the mirror, and the reflection like reached out to me and was like, "You're not supposed to be here." Scared the shit out of me. Woke up covered in sweat, dude, in prison, just like terrified. Flash forward, I'm in this dream the other day, and I'm in what is like an abandoned fucking like Walmart or
You're
something.
in the gulag, man.
It's like a shopping center, and we're like going through reconnaissing. Right, we're looking through fucking like around this aisle, like you're good, go, and we're just like sweeping the place, making sure that it's fucking clear. And at one point, I walk past like a full body fucking mirror, and see my reflection, and he's like, this is it, don't you? The war's coming. Ooh. And then I woke up. So that makes me think we've both been visited by interdimensional beings warning us about World War III.
Yeah.
That's just what I'm thinking. Or
it really bothered me.
Our subconsciouses are probably just worried about the conflict.
And I would assume that that's probably the more rational thing. But it really does, like, that is a thing that does bother. Like, the dream was bothersome, but the idea, the thought of that is very bothersome. Because I don't want to deal with that. I had a friend of mine telling me not too long ago, a couple of months ago, we were talking about, the election and Israel-Palestine. We were talking about all sorts of political stuff, and he had made the point, and I told him, I was like, I'll vote for Joe Biden. Like I support a lot of that. Like I support LGBTQ. Like I'm in all that. And he was like, he's like, man, he's like, if another war breaks out, man, and we all have to go fight, he's like, the generation, like all these kids, like everybody, they're so soft. Like the people that you're supporting, the people you vote to protect, they're the ones that are going to have to go fight for us if this happens. And I looked at him like just dumbfounded, and I was like, do you really think me and you are going to cause a lot of fucking damage?
I mean, yeah.
Like, honestly. I mean, do you really, like, do you think that's me and you are John Rambo? Like, we're like...
Most dudes are like
we're not qualified to fight. I can't run
They're
around my fucking house without almost passing out. True. Like, what do you... So you're talking about the trans kids and, like, all these things, like...
these wusses aren't going to be able to...
Yeah.
You couldn't do anything.
We can't. What are we going to do? Yeah, there's never been a point in my life where I could have went and got a fucking silver star, dude.
Yeah,
like,
and let me tell you this.
Up.
If the military's taking them in and they're training them and sending them out there, then they've got to be good. Or the institution that you guys, like, claim to love has sucked for long enough to where the top leadership is already shitty enough to not train people well. Yeah. Either way, it's just like, no, it's not going to be any of us. We're about to age out of the draft range.
Those are those dudes that grew up playing Call of Duty and really think that they're,
The only thing...
I play NASCAR Heat, dude, and I know I can't drive around fucking Daytona one time without hitting the fucking wall.
The only way it would happen is if there was, like, an actual on-soil U.S. invasion, and we had no choice but to, like, take the guns we had
and that's
try
fine.
to defend ourselves.
Yeah, like, that's fine. We can do that.
But the military ain't sending us on no ops.
No, they're not sending us
that
to fucking...
20-year-old trans furry... that's a fucking Navy SEAL is going to do way more damage
than you could ever
than me if I work out for the next 2 years and take riflery classes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
It's just, you got to get with the show, Graham. But I go back and forth. Between there's no way to stop these conflicts now. It's going to over-escalate. And I think there's enough people who are, like, sick of this sort of lifestyle on Earth that we're due for some kind of change.
Yeah.
But either way, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to vote for one guy that sucks or the other guy that sucks.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I kind of think even if we don't vote, like if we don't get Trump and this Republican dictatorship plan now, they're just going to keep trying it. And that whole like party is getting worse and worse. Something has to change fundamentally for shit to not suck. And I honestly think it's like getting a real progressive caucus in there, getting some real progressive Democrats, maybe not even Democrats, progressive independents, and a progressive president in.
Yeah,
I think you could. It would be undeniable change in such a short period of time that people might be like, we can try this. You know what I mean?
And we should.
I just don't think anybody's gonna, after 4 years, if they get to keep more of their fucking paychecks because their boss doesn't get as much of it, if they're being taxed less, if the wealthy are putting in more, so there's more availability for shit like Medicaid and Social Security, there's better roads and yada, yada, yada. Nobody's going to be able to fucking say with a straight face, oh, no, we shouldn't do this. We should go back to how it was, where everybody had to fend for themselves and fill in their own potholes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wish somebody'd fill the potholes in.
Well, you got to do it your damn self, dude. It's a shame. Like, up here at the top of the fucking hill, and they're repaving all these roads all around all the nice neighborhoods because they fucking, pay for it. They're like, oh, we'll pay to fix our roads, but we won't pay a bigger tax to fix the county.
They were working up on the road when you're going down Michigan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A couple, maybe a month or two ago.
They're still doing it.
They stopped the traffic for like fucking 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And this kid got out of the car and he come running down the sidewalk and he was yelling at the kid that was holding the sign that said stop. And he's like, what the fuck, man? Like, we're gonna go or whatever. And that dude, like, turned around. He was like, hey, man, how about you get back in your fucking car or I'll keep you here all goddamn day, dude. And I'll come whip your fucking ass when I'm done. And I was like the second car, like there was a car in front of me. I was in front because he stopped me, and then there was a car behind me, and then that dude. So he was like 3 behind me, and I'm like looking dead at the dude saying that, and I wanted to like badass, like I'm like fuck that, like it's hot as fuck, dude. Like this dude's like he clearly doesn't want to be standing out here holding this fucking sign, he looked miserable as fuck. Yeah, it was badass, dude. But he's like, I'll keep you all fucking day, and I'll kick your fucking ass when I'm done. And I was like, hell yeah, dude.
Was it on the hill?
Yeah, we were still up on top. Yeah.
Oh, up top.
We were almost to the sign that says "All Life Matters" or whatever. The fucking the anti-abortion sign that's up there. That goofy bullshit.
Dude, my mom's always hitting like the Goodwill and the thrift store and just getting like work clothes and like play clothes for the kids and shit. And she's got a shirt that just says like, "I support life." And then on the back it says Life Choices Clinic. And she had no idea what it was. It was like a green army shirt. She's like, I support life. She's like, I don't know. I thought it was like a cute, like, be happy, live free. I support life, live, laugh, love. And I was like, it says Life Choices Clinic on the back. She's like, okay. And I was like, that's the fucking, like, anti-abortion place that tricks kids into having their babies.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to know that? You're going to get rid of it?
I can hear your mom right now. Like, that's hilarious. Dude.
I was like, no, I'm not. I don't give a fuck if you even wear it. Oh, you can wear it out with me. I don't fucking care. But I'm going to let you know.
Yeah.
In case somebody says something to you, what they're talking about.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. But obviously my mom's like, well, yeah, fucking goddamn, I didn't know about that shit.
That's awesome.
How the hell am I supposed to know? Abortion. What even is that?
I love that.
It's like, obviously I never heard of abortion or else fucking I would have got out of y'all 3. She pretty good. Her birthday's, is it midnight yet? Yeah, it's her birthday right now. I'm going to text her a quick happy birthday.
And you ought to, man.
She's asleep, but it's...
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Some balloons. Yeah, I'm going to go over and see her later today. And then I'm going to babysit for her on Sunday so she can go see my brother in prison. Check this out, dude. So the prison he's at, I don't know if you know this, is the prison that Mike Tyson did time in.
You told me that, yeah.
And so he's like, he was talking about they have a nice, like big fucking gym with all kinds of shit, and he built it while he was there. He's like, I can't work out here. You fucking build me a gym, and he spent like
build a gym.
$2 million.
I got $2 million
having a fucking gym built at this prison.
Got the gym built at the prison.
Yeah, dude. Pretty cool, right?
I eat your ass in front of everybody.
I eat your children.
I eat your children. I'll fuck you till you love me.
Well, it's I broke my back.
Spinal.
What do you mean? A herniated disc or? Well, it's spinal.
I love that.
It's like my favorite fucking Mike Tyson clip. Shit.
Hell yeah, man. The camera fucked up again, dude.
Yeah, I'm going to figure that out eventually. But look, we're going to cut this one because I got to pee. That's an hour.
And that's funny because I got to piss too, man. It's like our brains are telling us.
And we're going to get Ramble back up. We're going to record another one of these.
Yeah, but
dude. Y'all don't need to know about that.
And you don't, dude.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Get your penis up at the holidays.